Is Floyd coated bros easy in Manaus? No flakes. So in Manaus they do flake.
They said once a week they would have see this.
Okay.
2 to 3 times a week. 2 times a week.
Yeah, you doing too much. Maybe we could do
Hold on, that's easy money though. If y'all gonna be donating like that,
I mean, I guess.
if y'all gonna be donating like that, we'll do a 6-hour live.
Shit.
We'll take a Sunday just to sit back and be the TV show.
Yeah, maybe we'll have our.
We'll give Floyd some alcohol.
Maybe have our girlfriends here. Go live with them. Just saying.
That's how we gonna attract a lot of clout chasers like that.
Yeah, a lot of clout.
That's okay. They can clout chase, but they know what they gotta do.
Yeah, but yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm just so happy to be overseas, and I will continue to be over here, bro. Unless I'm getting dragged back to the United States, I ain't going. Everything is set in stone. I don't got nothing there but my place. I lost my vehicle, but I got nothing else but there but my place. I got in a car accident. Damn near hit a semi. Well, I hit a semi and I almost died. I could have been dead from that. I could have been decapitated. Yeah, it would have killed me if it wasn't for that.
Long story short, keep catching Ubers.
Yeah, pretty much. And don't sit on the passenger side. Or whatever side you about to hit the semi, move to that side.
Hold up. Sit in the middle. The middle seat is the safest seat.
What did Fred say? He said something about me. Fred went to Manaus by yourself. Go to Manaus by yourself. Go to Manaus yourself is the best answer, bro. You're right.
I gotta check out Manaus too, though.
Yeah, we gotta check out. I love Manaus. I got people there already.
Okay, let me tell you guys something about Peanut Butter Floyd right here. When he was in Thailand, we called him Lady Boy Floyd.
No.
So, Floyd right here. Hold on. So, I have never lived in the same house more than one day with another man. As wrong as that sounded.
We're getting too close, guys. We're getting too close.
No, he getting too close.
He getting too close.
Floyd has taught me how to be patient. Because you got to have patience to fuck with him.
You're right about that.
Ask Fred. So you got to have patience to fool with Floyd. And I got patience.
Hi, guys. So Auston went to East Europe with Floyd. They stayed there either for 3 weeks or a month. I forgot for how long. And then from there, they flew to Argentina. But a day after they arrived in Argentina, Floyd left. When they were in Europe, they were living in the same house. But in Argentina, they were staying in different places. And then Floyd left. And then he went on live saying that the reason he left Argentina
is that this country, Argentina, is not for black people. It's just not. They don't know what it is. Is even if you're American coming here to this country, you are at a disadvantage because of this right here. There's nothing you can do about that.
That's not the reason you left. You left Argentina because you want, you're tired of having to deal with the egomaniac named Auston Holman. And I say that by observing their interaction, their verbal, non-verbal interaction in East Europe. Their interaction, when Floyd first arrived in East Europe, I think they met in Romania first. When they met in Romania, Floyd was bubbly, he was happy, he was spontaneous, he was, talking to Auston, very happy, very excited to be there. And as he lived, and still, the second, they did a live, the first live they did together was, the one where they were asking for money, this live. And in that live, Floyd was, he was happy, he was smiling, he was spontaneous, he was, like I said, communicating naturally. But as the days pass and we watch them on more live, you see Floyd becoming less spontaneous, he looked like he didn't really enjoy being on the live. He was, like on the first live they did, he was communicating with Auston, but in the lives that, the later lives they did together, it was obvious that he was trying to find some way to avoid talking to Auston. So he was on his phone a lot, like on this live, if you look at him, he was on his phone, while Auston was just like, Auston was not on his own phone, but what's his name, Floyd was, and it was obvious that he was trying to avoid talking to Auston. So it was obvious that he was tired. He had enough. He was tired of being around us. And then even the language, like the way he was talking on the first video, the one that I need my subscriber to support me video, versus this other video. In the first one, he was talking. He had a lot of vocabulary. I guess he was going back and forth with the audience. But in this other one, he was not saying a lot, and whenever he talked, he just like says, "Oh, send money on the Cash App, send money on the Cash App." It was very obvious that he didn't want to be on, in that live. He didn't want to be sitting next to Auston any longer. And on the last live they did together, of course, Auston, being the egomaniac, the control freak that he is, he probably talked to Floyd, after they did this live. He probably talked to Floyd and told him, it was not good to be on his phone all the time. So the last live they did together, Floyd was not on his phone, but you could still look at his body language. It's obvious that he's miserable, but he was not, communicating with audience. He was not. It's obvious he rather not be in, there. He rather be somewhere else than being sitting next to Auston. And actually, he left the live and went to bed, halfway through the live.
Not feeling good. So I'm not used to smoking cigars, so I don't really smoke like that just in general. So I'm gonna get some sleep, man. Good night to you guys.
So it was obvious that Floyd had enough with Auston. Let's see. I mean, the relationship between Auston and Floyd was very exploitative, right? For one thing, Auston was actually using Floyd's money. Auston apparently is broke and he doesn't have his own money, so he is using Floyd's money until YouTube sends him his next check. I guess.
Like, whenever I get lucky, I put money on my Cash App, but they keep denying that too. So Floyd's been actually paying for a lot of my stuff, and I just got to pay him back when I get my card unlocked.
That too. But I'm always here to support my buddy.
And then when the lives, when he was in East Europe, Auston did a lot of lives, and he was making, he was getting good views because of the interaction he was having with Floyd, meaning that Floyd made Auston's lives more watchable, more enjoyable, and basically Floyd was helping Auston get more views, but Floyd was not benefiting from that, right? Because the lives were being held on Auston's channels. Mind you, they could have had the lives being broadcasted on both channels, and Floyd could have benefited from the interaction the Auston and Floyd were having. And the other thing is they were only giving out Auston's Cash App. I mean, Floyd has his own Cash App, but they were only giving Auston's Cash App. But I don't really want to get too deep in that. But the whole thing is, reminds me of what happened to Kesa. Like, I have been calling Floyd Kesa 2.0. And like Kesa, when Kesa first united with Auston in Kenya, she was, smiley, she was bubbly, she was spontaneous, she was, she was excited. But as she lived longer and longer with Auston, she became less spontaneous, she became less communicative, you could see she's getting more and more depressed. It's the same thing that happened um, with Floyd. And in fact, it's so funny, right? Kesa, I made this video on when Kesa left Austin. I made this video explaining how I knew from watching her body language on their video Austin and Kesa made together on the last video they made together. I knew that she has had it enough with Austin. And one of the body language that I mentioned was Kesa putting her earbud on her in her ear, like she put both of her earbuds in her ear. And in this video that I made, I said that the reason she did that was because she didn't want to talk to Austin any longer. She didn't want to listen to him any longer. And Floyd kind of did that similar thing, right? Him being on his phone all the time while Austin was, talking to him and talking to the audience. That was his own way of trying to avoid talking to Austin. Just like Kesa put those two earbuds in her ear, Floyd was on his phone, looking at his phone to avoid talking to Austin. But that's not the only similarity, right? The other similarity, like I said, the first similarity is that both of them, when they first, reunited with Austin, they were both of them were happy, both of them were, smiling and everything. But then as they, stayed with Austin longer and longer, both of them started to become less happy, I guess, less smiley, become less spontaneous. That is the second similarity, right? But the third similarity for me is how Austin was forcing both Kesa and Floyd to behave in a way that they really are. In Kesa's case, we know that Kesa is a modern woman. She is, she's educated. She is a modern woman, right? But she was acting as if she was, a traditional submissive woman because that is what Austin wants her to be. So she was behaving in a way that she really is not. In Floyd's case, Floyd was behaving as if he is a dumb guy who doesn't know how things work, and he is there to learn from this master expert Austin Holtman. And so you see Floyd even thinks that he that he knows that he Floyd knows a lot about. He was behaving as if he doesn't know, as if he still needs to learn. He still needed to learn them from Austin. One good example is this video where Austin is explaining to Floyd how YouTube works, right? How to edit, what to take, what to cut out, when to play background music, etc. And Floyd is listening to Austin as if Floyd didn't know before, as if this were something new that he is just learning.
Put a good song over this one.
You'll probably have to do like a voiceover because of the music.
Put a song over this one.
Yeah.
When in reality, that's not true, right? Because Floyd had this channel, a channel with 130K followers, a very successful channel. So Floyd knows how to edit, what to include, what not to include in a YouTube video. So he didn't need to learn that from Austin. But Floyd has to behave as if he is a novice in everything, an awkward person that he who is there to learn from Auston, because that is what Auston is forcing him to be. I think Auston doesn't allow people around him to be their authentic self. He wants them to be, a role that he has created for them. So people are, forced to play the role that Auston creates. And you know what? And playing roles, being the person that you are not, is draining. Maybe you can do it for 1 or 2 days, but when you have to do it, day in and day out, it's draining. You get tired. So that's why, Kesa was tired of Auston after 5 days. Same thing with Floyd. And I mean, that's why, Floyd left Auston the first opportunity he got, right? I guess just like Kesa left Auston, Floyd kind of left Auston too, right? But here is the thing though. Kesa could make a clean run. She could, she can just leave Auston and say, go on YouTube like she did here and say, you know what, Auston is hard to get along with. She called him a narcissist.
Completely false. That was just a typical narcissistic behavior, trying to make me look bad while he looked good.
He's a narcissist. That's why, I left. But Floyd cannot do that. Floyd cannot say, well, the reason I am living in a separate place from Auston is because Auston is an egomaniac, a control freak that I cannot deal with any longer. Or he cannot say, or the reason I'm leaving Argentina is because I just want to make as much distance between me and this guy. He cannot say that, right? Because Floyd still belongs to the passport community, the passport bro community, and in that community, Auston is like a little god. He had a much elevated position than Floyd does. So if Floyd was to criticize Auston, he would be excommunicated from that community. So that is why he came up with this excuse that he's leaving Argentina because of racism. And no, because Floyd has traveled to many racist countries. And I'm sure he has dealt with racism before. So he is not leaving a country just one day after he arrived because of racism. But the immigration thing, being detained at immigration is something that happens a lot. It happens to a lot of us. I was actually detained in Turkey for like 3 hours. I mean, my connection flight was delayed for 24 hours, so it didn't really affect me, but I didn't believe it was racism. And I'm almost sure that Floyd doesn't think it was racism either, but he was trying to find an excuse to run away from Auston, to get rid of Auston. So he came up with this ridiculous racism idea, being a victim of racism idea. But I don't believe it. I mean, this Floyd guy is like a white worship. He worships white women. You could watch a lot of the lives he did with Auston, and he's a white worshiper. And when you are a white worshiper, you are going to tolerate a lot of racism. And believe me, white women running away from you or being detained for a few hours at immigration is not the kind of racism that would make you decide to leave a country. So no, I don't believe so. And for me, what's pathetic and sad is how Floyd is going out of his way to make sure people know that he and Auston are still in good terms, that he is cool with Auston. And one way he did was, by sending Auston super chats. He sent Auston super chats 2 times. And for me, that was, it was obvious that was for a show. Because it was obvious to me that he wanted people to see him doing that. Because Floyd has been telling people to send Auston money through Cash App. I mean, he said it so many times, Cash App, Cash App, Cash App. People actually got tired of him, saying it. So he has been telling people to send Auston money through the Cash App, because he said if you send a super chat, Auston wouldn't get the money right away, and that YouTube would take 30%. So it is better to send it through the Cash App. He was reinforcing that idea over and over. But here he is sending Auston super chats 2 times, and it's obvious he did that because when you send super chat, your name will pop up in the monitor, in the display, so people can see that you have sent money. And usually Auston would also read your comments, so that is why he was sending super chat, because he wants people to see that he's still okay, he's still cool with Auston. And that's kind of sad, right? Because Auston, on the other hand, is attacking Floyd, right? He's attacking him the way he always attacks people, which is cowardly, which is always, in a backhanded way. He never attacks people face to face. He either uses other people to attack, other people, or he would, go through it the passive aggressive way, which is what he's doing here, because he posted this passive aggressive comment where he said, just so my subscribers know, if you ever pay for my trip, I will stay the entire duration of my trip out of respect for your generosity. And I didn't even know this was targeted at Floyd, but apparently his audience believes so, because the commenters are saying, oh, you're taking a dig at Floyd. And of course Auston is kind of in his cowardly way confirming that, yeah, this comment is actually about Floyd. So Auston is not restrained. He is going to, in his cowardly way, he's going to continue attacking Floyd, but Floyd will not be able to to respond, because in the power differential, right? Which is something I have been talking about with Auston when Auston was in Africa. This power differential, especially when you have a narcissist like Auston, is the power differential is really very dangerous, very harmful. And right now, Floyd has a power differential. He is at a lesser power. He's powerless compared to Auston when it comes to the passport bro community, which it's obvious Floyd wants to to continue being a part of. So Auston is going to be able to attack Floyd, but Floyd will not be able to respond. And once again, like I said, this is one reason I don't want Auston in Africa, because just him being an American gives him an advantage over the African girls that I don't want to say date, because this guy doesn't date, the African girls that he is around with. And that by itself is, dangerous, right? But now that we have seen this guy more and more, and I know his personality right now, and he's an egomaniac. And when an egomaniac has a power, however limited that power may be, when he has power over another person, they become dangerous. So that is why right now we have to do everything and anything we can to make sure that this guy never goes to Africa, to make sure that this guy stays in outside Africa. To make sure that this guy stays out of away from black girls, whether those black girls are in Africa or outside Africa. We have to make sure that this egomaniac is not close to them. And